real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Charles Bush says while he and the defendant were married, he found an email written to her from another man, but she denied having an affair. Charles claims after he surprised the defendant with a lie detector test, he caught her sending sexy pictures to another man. He's suing his ex-wife because she owes him for back taxes. Defendant Michelle Bush says she married Charles when she was young and insists she passed the lie detector test with flying colors. Michelle says Charles was extremely controlling while they were married, and he refused to accept payments for the back taxes.
Start with you.
Well, basically, what started was we started off with a normal marriage. Everything was going good.
When was that?
This started back in 2001. We had got married in June, and we had our first son in December. Everything was running smooth. She got a new job working a lot of long hours as a recruiter. And basically, when that started happening, she started working late nights and said it was off for work. I said, okay, that's good. You know, I'm all about work, family, supporting our household. Then she started coming home midnights based on work, and I was like, things didn't seem right. I found an email. It was pretty descriptive. I wish I could read it out to you guys. I don't have it with me. The one thing I remember was the email said, maybe next time we can try. And I said, what? I said, that's not good. That's not work to me. That's not work. So I said, all right.
Sounds like recruiting to me.
Recruiting the wrong type of work, though, maybe.
Go ahead.
So I went and filed divorce papers on her. She didn't want to get divorced. We had a family. And she's like, wasn't for me. That email was meant for a different Michelle. I said, come on, this is my first barbecue. How do you mess up sending an email like that to somebody? So she goes, I'll do anything. She goes, give me a lie detector test, you know, call this person, do whatever. So I surprised her with a lie detector test. She was upset. She was really mad, didn't want me to be in the house. So I waited outside while the test was performed. Okay, no big deal. Walking the company out that came into the test at our house, they said, oh yeah, she passed, but I wish she kind of would have failed because of her attitude. And I said, okay, good, she passed. All right, I'm happy now. She didn't do it, you know. Then I started thinking, I was like, wait a minute. What questions did she answer truthfully? They could have asked her, did you cheat on him or do this? And she could have said yes, and there would have been a pass because it was truthful. So it took me a while for that to click in. Then as things started happening again, romance wasn't really there. You know, I had bought a bike, a motorcycle, and she took some pictures on it for me. And, you know, lingerie, bra, underwear. Then what do? I find another email sent to another coworker, male coworker, of the picture she took from me on the bike. And I was like, how could you do this? She goes, well, he was talking about his motorcycle. I was telling him about your motorcycle. And I sent him the pictures. And I said, but of you and your lingerie? And she goes, well, I didn't look at them. The one thing I remember was the email said, maybe next time we can try. And I said, what? I said, that's not good. That's not work to me. That's not work. So I said, all right.
Sounds like recruiting to me.
Defendant Michelle Bush is being sued by her ex-husband, who claims he surprised Michelle with a lie detector test because he suspected Michelle was cheating.
Ma'am?
We married when I was young, and we actually have 2 children. He met me when I was 8 months pregnant, and still claims to this day that my oldest child is our son, not just my son.
I never said it was just your son, but...
So we have 2 kids together, Your Honor. I passed this lie detector test that he gave me with flying colors. Reason he says he doesn't believe it is because they never sent him paperwork. Yes, obviously I was very upset when this was surprised on me. My kids are in the back of the house asleep. I did pass with flying colors.
Yeah, but he says he doesn't know what questions they asked.
He's the one who wrote the questions. He knows exactly what questions he asked.
But I didn't know if you answered yes or no. For example, when I had them ask the question, did you do what was in the email? I don't know if you answered yes or no. If you answered yes and you really did it, you would have answered truthfully.
You believed me when I took the email, the lie detector. You were very excited and happy, but then all of a sudden this gets all brought back up 4 hours later. Of course, because I didn't want our family to break apart at that time. Neither did I.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
In regards to the pictures of me on the motorcycle, mind you, the picture that was sent was not of me in bra and panties or in lingerie. I had jeans on.
Okay, all right.
Heels. It wasn't like, don't make me out to be somebody who's going to be
no, you just deny it.
Naked taking a picture.
Blue jeans is a big difference from lingerie.
Corset.
Mind you, I bought the bike for you.
Somebody's lying. Go ahead. What else you want to tell me in terms of background?
He was very controlling during the marriage.
Okay.
I had to ask to go put gas in my car. I had to ask if I can go to the store and buy cigarettes. He would get mad at me and yell at me because our balance wasn't what he wanted in the bank account, and I'm sorry, I went to Starbucks and bought a $5 coffee.
All right, let's get to the breach of contract you're suing for.
During the course of our marriage, we owed state taxes. And it was roughly at the time about $9,000, and we were making monthly payments towards that to pay it down. Last year, I got a letter stating that our federal returns can be used to pay off the state taxes. At that time, I said, we need to come up with an agreement. That way, to be fair to each other, because both of it is both of our responsibilities, that if they take it from one another, we will reimburse each other with the other person's tax returns for their half, and if it's not enough, we will come up with a repayment plan. Through some emails and some verbal conversations we've had, we agreed on it, but then later it turned back to, I never agreed to that. Here, I can make monthly payments to you, and I didn't have the opportunity to say, oh, I'm going to make monthly payments to it, because they took it straight out of my federal return. I provided her with all the proof that they took the money. She still wanted more proof. I kept giving her as much proof as I could, and even I have an email here where she states that she'll reimburse me with her state return.
Let's see it.
There you go.
What did the divorce decree? Who did it order to pay the taxes?
And the divorce decree in our marital settlement agreement here. I have it highlighted right here that we both have split 50-50.
Okay. Ma'am?
I've never denied him paying the bill, paying him my half of the taxes. I told him, if my returns are accepted and can cover, I will pay you for my returns. If not, I will continue to make payments. I have here, after he's told me that his money was, taken from the federal, that I made him a payment. He said, I've already told you that payments, or it's been paid in full. I will accept this payment as part of what you owe me. Okay, so he accepted it. I made him another payment. It was $100, Your Honor. I made him another payment of $100 30 days later, because that's what I've been paying the entire time that we've been divorced, and he declined it. Very next day, I get a demand letter telling me that he wants payment in full within 10 days. Your Honor, he makes double what I do. I can't afford to pay him outright and be, okay, here, I don't have that kind of cash, and he knows that.
But in the agreement, in the email right there, it states that if with her return, she will reimburse, if not.
And that's not a legal defense. You can't afford it. That's essentially what you're saying. You can't afford to pay all of it. He's not legally obligated to accept your payment plan under your terms. The decree says you pay all of it.
Your Honor, mind you, my name is still on his house. So he's suing me over $2,900, yet I can demand him to pay off the house.
Did you tell the divorce court that?
No, because during the divorce, he told me, trust me, I won't mess with you, so I never rebelled.
When you saw the paperwork, why didn't you have it put in the paperwork?
It is in the paperwork that he owes me the money, and yet I have not gone after that to force him to sell.
Why haven't you?
Because I was trying to be the nice woman.
Okay, and he's not. So he's not being nice. You can continue to be nice if you like. He wants his money. $2,860. You admit that you owe. Your only defense is that you can't afford it and that he should be nice because he owes you money and you're being nice, but he doesn't want to be nice. And my suggestion to you is to get your money. All right, judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
I'm sorry you don't think I'm being a nice guy, but, we had an agreement.
I'm finally glad that I'm not in a controlling relationship and I can go and live my life and be who I am. Sorry it doesn't suit you, but it's the way it is.